Okay, I'm Imelda May, and I've been instructed to pick a question, so here we go. Who are some of your favourite designers? I'm not very familiar with a lot of the big designers at the moment. I was given some bits and pieces. I got a Dolce & Gabbana thing that I thought was absolutely gorgeous. I got to... Myself and the band were asked over to sing at Roberto Cavalli's birthday party, and I got to meet him, and I was given a beautiful dress and lovely pair of shoes, and they were beautiful. So I really like their designs, but I like to go for quirky things or students or people who are unknown. My friend Saffron Shearer Gear, I asked her to make a lot of the stuff for me, so I suppose if you like, I design them and she makes them. And I asked her for this corset and the gold dress I wore at the Grammys. I kind of said what I wanted and she whipped it up. So, and one more while I'm on it, Iron Fist shoes are the best, and I don't know if you can see. Can you see? They are horror ice creams. Can you make them out? So I love vintage. I like quirkier stuff than mainstream, as you can probably see, and I like customising things and shoving bows on the sides of stuff if I feel like. You are touring into the summer. What is next for you? More touring. So it's constantly touring for many years, as you can probably see by the bags under my eyes. And it's all been great. I love it. It's what I do. And I think I might have a little bit of time off in August, and then I start touring again in just finished recording my new album, so that's going to be out in England, Ireland, and possibly Europe around the same time in September. So we're going to be launching that, and then it'll be released over here later, so then we'll be coming back here. Do you feel your style is more nostalgic or musical revival? I don't really feel either of them things, to be honest with you. I just do my thing. I don't want it to be nostalgic. I like music to be current. I'm living in 2010, so I don't want it to be nostalgic by any means. I do love my old music, and I always have. I'm certainly influenced by it. I love my rockabilly, I love my blues, love my jazz, love my country, and I mainly listen to older stuff. But in saying that, when people did hear that, certainly rockabilly at first, it was mind-blowingly wild, almost the punk rock of its day. People just went crazy for it, and I'd never heard bands screaming like the Blue Caps did on Jane Vincent stuff, you know, and that was wild. And I want to be able to capture that feeling now. What draws you to collaborate with so many amazing musicians? Fate, I suppose. I just go with the flow, see what happens, and I find in life things they just flow along nicely, and if you follow it, it tends to go pretty well. If you fight it, it tends to go a bit wrong. So I just take things a bit easy, and things do happen. If you work hard, I'm a big believer in working hard, and being professional, and being happy as well. You don't want to be a miserable person to work with, and I love music, so I just love doing it, and I love collaborating with, you know, people that, obviously with Jeff Beck, he's a huge lover of music, and I love working with him because he gets as excited as me, or he just gets so excited when there's a new song. He'd be like, let's do that, and the two of you sit there all night, and as my record company would tell you, I'm a pain in the ass. They've been trying to get me to collaborate on my record, and I won't do it. It feels unnatural to me for somebody to come up with an idea, you have to meet this person. It's just unnatural. So I think things like that are meant to be, rather than push people together. It's nasty, and I think that's the best way, because they want to be able to sell something, and they need to be happy with it in order that they think that they can push it or get the best out of you. But I also need to keep my musical integrity, and keep it something that I love and is true to my heart, because I'm the one that has to gig it, so I'm not ever going to do anything that I don't like. So it's worth having an El Barney or fight from time to time. What puts the biggest smile on your face? I'm not telling you that for camera. The same as anybody else. Good night. Good night. good music and music. I love a good traditional session. I play traditional music, the bodhrán, as you saw. It's not here, it's out there somewhere. And my brother plays, and I love going down to the pub when I get to Ireland and sitting in on the traditional sessions and drinking way too much Guinness. And I love them. I love any jam sessions. I love. That puts a smile on my face. That's the one that I can't say on camera. Tell us about your next album. Oh, I did that. Oh, but it's a good album. That's all I can tell you. I've worked hard on it. It's a little bit more gutsier than the last one. In a good way, I think. The piano's gone. It's more guitar led. Has a bit more balls to it, I think. Even though you have been doing your thing for many years, your Grammy performance seemed to put you in millions of American homes. What has changed since that night? I've got busier. A lot busier. It's been great. The phone has been hopping, and we'd already planned to come on tour with Jamie Cullum. Like that, things happen. Like I said, just by accident. Jeff asked us to go on the Grammys with him. We were planning to come here anyway. So after the Grammys, people were saying, "When are you coming back?" I said, "Well, it just so happens that we're going to be back from here this date to that date." Kind of, I suppose, makes me more comfortable. I just do what I do, and if people don't listen to it, I'll still be doing it. But it's great that people do want to hear it. Obviously, I love having an audience. I love having a packed house, me and the band, because you have just a better night when everybody's going for it. And there's a big gang of sweaty people screaming up at you, and us screaming back at them, you know. So I do really enjoy that. But having things go mental after the Grammys, I think it is good that I've done this for a long time, because I'm comfortable on stage and I'm comfortable with what I do. You've been doing this for some time now. What is the biggest thing you have learned about yourself through everything? I would say that I've learned that I am obsessed about music. I've learned that I love it. I love the life, and I've learned that I think I have a fantastic band. Be getting like a house on fire. But about myself, I don't know what I've learned. I'll tell you in another while. Give me a bit more time on it. What kind of extra stress and pressure do you feel being in a band with your significant other? Well, that's a good question. It's great. It is great being in a band together. I paused, not for any bad reason. The reason I paused was myself and Dal, we've been together 12 years now. We were always in separate bands, and we travelled, and it was very hard not getting to see each other for weeks on end sometimes. So that was hard. But when it came that I wanted a guitarist in the band, he was the best guitarist I knew. I think he's a phenomenally talented guitarist. And the only thing that almost stopped it was that we were married, because we got on so well that I didn't want anything to ruin that by basically being in each other's pockets all the time. So we said, well, let's give it a go, and it's been great. It's been absolutely fantastic. We get to see each other a lot, so it means we get to experience things together. So I don't have to come home and tell him all about the great gig we had tonight and you wouldn't believe what happened, because he was there. But other than that, the only stress is to try and... There's two things. When we're around the lads all the time, you try not to bicker like married couples do, because you don't want to be uncomfortable for them. But then at the same time, you have to try and remember that you're a couple and you're not bandmates, and that when you go out for dinner, you have to bar the talking about the band or the gigs or what we want to do, and try and just ease off on that sometimes, so you can just chat like husband and wife. You don't have to be obsessed about work all the time. So that's the only stress, really. It's not really much, is it? You have an amazing sense of style. What role does fashion play in your life? Oh, I love fashion. I think fashion should be fun, but it should make you feel good. So whatever you're comfortable with, that's it, really. Feel a bit, for women, I think you want to feel like a woman, so you'll put your tight dress on and pull your waist in and put your heels on, and you feel like you take on the world sometimes, so I think that's what fashion is for. Make you feel good and have a bit of fun. Thank you very much to anybody who sent in questions. Thanks for them. I'm Imelda May, and you should get yourself a job in journalism, because they were better than a lot of the questions I get asked. Hope you enjoy the answers, and hope I'll get to see you at a gig sometime soon. Bye bye.